Hi guys. I'm going to start doing these videos for you once a week just to talk about the training I'm going through right now with John Maxwell so I can share some of the tips that he's giving with that training, and hopefully we can use it to grow as a team and achieve some of those personal and financial goals that we have together. So he talked a lot about um, the growth environment in his first call, which was last night. And I'm not going to go over everything with you right now because it was a lot of information. So I'm just going to talk about two of the things today, and then next week I will talk about two more things from the call. One of the most important concepts he talked about was apply, change, and teach. So ACT, A-C-T. So his advice was to take what he's saying and apply it to yourself personally, teach it to those that are following you, so your challengers and coaches, and see change anything about yourself or your situation to make it better. Okay, so one of the things I have down for change and teach is talking about filling up your calendar with things that are going to help you. So I know we are all super busy. Most of us are parents. We have a lot of commitments. We work. Some of you work full-time other than your coaching business, so I can only imagine how busy you are. But what you need to do is take a look at your calendar and make sure that the things that are on your calendar are improving you and getting you closer to your goals. Because like he said, if you're not in charge of your life, somebody else will be. Okay, you don't want other people in charge of your life. You don't want them filling your calendar instead of you filling your calendar. So that means we're not going to be able to do everything. Some things are going to have to get pushed aside. Maybe, baking cookies for the school PTO might not fit in there. Doing wine nights with the girls and playing, what's that game? I can't think of the name of it. There was a game that started with an R, but that might not, fit in there. That's not going to help me. That's not going to get me any closer to achieving my goals. So, that's not going to fit in the calendar. Is it fun? Yeah. Is it, something I like to do? Yes. But it's not really about me and what I want. I'm not going to grow and change and get closer to my goals until I stop thinking about me and start thinking about others. Okay, when you start thinking about others is when the growth and change really starts to come. So with that in mind, I want to make sure I'm filling my calendar with things that are benefiting, that I am helping others so that I can then grow in return. If that makes any sense. Hopefully that does. Of course, he says it better than me, but I'm trying to think of ways that we can specifically apply this to our lives as coaches. All right, the next thing I wanted to talk about with you, besides watching your calendar and making sure you're filling up with things that are getting you towards your goals, is something I'm going to be talking about on the Dream Big webinar. I'm going to be on the Dream Big webinar this Monday night at 9 Eastern and talking about getting outside of your comfort zone. This is huge for me, probably more so than anything else that I do with Beachbody. Beachbody and being a coach pushes me outside my comfort zone. I am not a naturally social person. I tend to be shy. I get nervous talking on the phone. I get nervous doing these webinars and doing videos. So I know that these things need to be done for me to grow my business. So I need that extra push outside of my comfort zone in order to get me to those financial goals that I want to get to. John Maxwell was talking about, stay in your gift zone, out of your comfort zone. That's where the most progress is going to happen. So that means, know your strengths and make sure that you are using your strengths, but not in a comfortable way. Okay, so my strengths, I have a background in teaching, so I love to teach. But in my perfect comfy world, I only teach, a couple classes a week, middle school age kids with my church, and I can just talk about what I want to talk about, and there's no pressure and no stress. Is that really going to, push me to achieve? No, it's not. I'm still in my comfort zone. I'm using my strengths, but I'm using them in my comfort zone. I need to use my strengths outside of my comfort zone. Examples of me doing that outside my comfort zone is right here. Making videos every week to teach you concepts, whether I'm in the mood to or not, or no matter how busy I am going to commit to making these videos every single week. Getting on webinars, hosting webinars, that is teaching. But, I might be tired Monday night. I might not be in the mood to get on the computer. Tough, like I need to be pushed outside my comfort zone and forced to do these things in order for me to be consistent with this business. If I stay in my comfort zone, the same thing that's going to happen the last 2 years is going to keep happening, which is, I start to gain momentum, things start to be going good, and then they start slacking back down again. And I sign up a lot of challengers and I sign up a lot of coaches, and then things start to fall back down again. I don't want that yo-yo effect. I want the continuous upward, line. So the only way that's going to happen is if I am continuously pushed outside of my comfort zone. So that's a big one for me. And the last thing I want to talk about with you guys today is failure. Making failure your friend instead of your enemy. How do you do this? By failing over and over and over again. And how do you, if you push yourself outside your comfort zone, you're going to fail. It's going to happen. And that's a big reason a lot of people, including myself, don't like to go outside our comfort zones. We're afraid of failing. We don't want to fail. But we need to look at that differently. If we want to grow as coaches and leaders, we need to want to fail. I know that sounds weird, totally against what you've been taught growing up. But if you aren't failing, you aren't growing. So take control of failure and don't let failure control you. Be the one pushing yourself outside your comfort zone so you're failing, and then look at it and learn from it and keep going forward. Change what you need to change. Don't be afraid of failing again. Because the more times you fail, that means you're growing and developing as a leader, and that's a good thing. It means you're going to get where you need to go. If you are not making mistakes, if you're doing the same things over and over again, you're not pushing yourself to do something harder, then you're not going to grow and change, and you're going to stay where you are. And I know for me personally, that's not okay with me. I don't want to stay where I am. I want to, I want to be Kristen. I want to be Summer Tucker. I want to be Tracy Morrow. I want to be my upline. I want to grow this business, and I want to do what they do and inspire people the way they inspire me. I want to be that inspiration. So I hope you guys feel that way too. And, you want to not just stay in the same old routine, but instead push yourself as hard as you can so that you can achieve greater things in this life and in this business. So that's all I'm going to talk about today, because that's, about 10 minutes long, and I don't want to overwhelm you with these big, long videos. I will touch on a couple more of the concepts from tonight's call next week in another video. And the next John Maxwell call is May 17th. So after that, we will have new topics to discuss. But for the next few weeks, we will just keep going over these concepts. So please, if you have any questions about anything I talked about, or you want to talk about something further, post something in the comments below so we can talk about it as a team here on our team page. Or if you'd rather just talk to me personally about it, you can always private message me as well. All right, talk to you guys later. Have a good weekend.